Check, mic check, mic check.
Ramiz in front, right here. Outside.
Good afternoon. How we doing?
I'm great, man. Not as good as you, though. Congratulations on the victory. I guess what are the emotions after this one? We kind of saw it kind of let out after that submission when you stood up.
Man, incredible. You know, I just want to keep getting better and better every single time I step foot into the octagon. I made a promise and a commitment to myself a little over a year ago before I fought at the Garden. And when it's all said and done, I want to solidify myself in the sport. And I pray to God that I have that opportunity to do so. So I cherish every single one of these moments, you know. So I realized that I had to take destiny and fate into my own hands, obviously with the help of God. But yeah, it's something special, man. It's something really special. Thank you for bringing me back down to earth with that question.
In terms of the fight itself, is that kind of how you saw it playing out? Because it seemed like he had some success in the first, and then that head kick seems to be the turning point in the fight.
Yeah, I thought I was going to knock him out, to be honest. You know, I've been training with Mike Valley, so I'm starting to box like a Mexican now, right? But I went up top with the head kick, and I'm getting closer with that right hand. You know I landed it in Madison Square Garden when I fought Mickey Gall, but I just want to keep showing diversity every time I fight. You know, I threw a couple of calf kicks. You know, I remember people used to say, oh, this dude just is a grappler. He's just this, he's that. And it's like, yeah, all right, we'll see about that shit. I ain't no grappler. I'm a mixed martial artist, and I'm a very dangerous one, too.
We've spoken to enough fighters, and you know when they're underdogs, they either don't pay attention to it or they don't care. You seemed very aware that you were an underdog. So are you someone that pays attention to that, and does it add a chip to your shoulder?
I have a chip on my shoulder just like I have a chip in my tooth right now, right? So that ain't never leaving me, you know. But it's just who I am, right? I've been overlooked my whole life, so I don't really care about it, you know. Like I told Joe Rogan, I had to do doggy style on the odds makers tonight, so. They kept disrespecting me, so I had to disrespect them right back.
And when we spoke after your win at the Garden, you were very open about what you were dealing with outside of camp.
Yeah.
So I guess since then, it's almost been a year. So I guess how's life been since that moment? You were kind of very open with us about what you were going through.
It's been incredible. You know, I stay in a basement/dungeon where Mike Valley just throws food every so often down the basement there. He's like, here you go, eat. Time to practice. Get out of there. Let's go. So it's been good. I can't complain, right? It's paying off, so I'll keep going back to that basement.
Did you give Joe your hat?
Yeah, I gave Joe the hat. He's like, I want to wear it. I'm Albanian from now on, so that's what he told me, you know. He's like, every time you wear that hat, I want one. He kind of like big dogged me out of the hat, and I was like, you got it, man. Don't worry about it. You getting bigger and bigger every time I see you, Joe, so I don't want no problems.
Did you tell Austin that you were having nightmares about him?
Yeah, dude. That dude was giving me nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole camp, I was missing sleep. I was like, dude, like, this dude kept me on my toes, you know? Had to cross my T's and dot my I's because I was like, dude, this dude's gonna come with everything. He's gonna try to ground and pound me. He's gonna try to keep me against the fence. He's gonna try to make me tired. But, you know, the only thing that kept replaying in my head is a saying that my dad told me since I was a kid. He's like, you better be ready to blow in the ram's ass and straighten its horns out. So that's exactly, I got the cardio to do that now. Thank you.
Ramiz over here. Congrats on the victory. Man, you said your cardio's improved. Did Dewey help you with that?
Dewey helped me with that, and Mike Valley definitely helped me with that. You know what I mean? And he was just like, hey, I know you're in Chicago, and I know you like tacos and nachos and all that shit, but you ain't doing none of that. So I couldn't leave the basement. You know what I mean? So.
And does it help being with the team with Bilal Muhammad training for another #1 contender fight with such high stakes? How much does that help you in your training?
Listen, anytime you train with a dude that is named Bilal Muhammad, former UFC welterweight champ, that dude shot, I think, 1,000 takedowns in on me this camp. And Mike Valley just kept watching. My team just kept watching. And I'm just like doing 5, 6, 7 rounds. And it'd be a brand new, fresh guy. And then this is what Bilal does. He cheats, right? So it's wrestling practice. He starts throwing flying knees, chips my tooth. But it's okay. You know why? Because Kevin Holland actually hit me up, and he said he's going to get me a grill from Johnny Dang. So you guys start tagging Kevin right now and tag him and Johnny Dang and tell him I want my grill when I go back to Texas. I'm going to fight with a grill from now on.
Congrats on the win, man. Obviously, you just mentioned what Bilal can do, help you with physically, but you know, maybe what are maybe some of the best words he's told you ahead of a fight like this?
You know, I got to give credit to not just Bilal, not just to Mike Valley, but also my manager, Justin Adams, you know. From the day that Justin picked me up, he said, man, you have so much talent that we haven't even scratched the surface. You better start believing in yourself. The way that I believe in you and the way that I know that you can become a champion, he said, that's what I'm going to extrapolate out of you. And by me putting myself around such incredible humans, right? Whenever I'm in Texas, whenever I go up to Chicago with my coach Mike Valley, the guy had a heart attack. No, seriously, this is the real MVP right now. The guy had a heart attack not even a month ago, and he's over here busting his ass off for me. I had no choice but to win. Like, you know, pardon my French, but I was going to die in that fucking octagon if I had to, so it didn't matter to me. I owed him the victory.
So you would say one of these fights obviously means way more than anything, yeah?
Oh, 100%. This fight meant a lot more to me, you know, because it takes a village, right? And, you know, I know I joke, and, you know, I'm a pretty outgoing dude, but, you know, I just want the world to know, like, these people, this group of guys that I have around me right now that actually believe in me and push me to these new lengths, and I see their endless sacrifices. You know what I mean? And I see the compromise in their health and how they show up for me every single time, and I'm forever indebted to that man right there. So I really appreciate you, Coach Mike Valley. Seriously, you're the man, brother. I appreciate you.
It's awesome start here, man. I just want one more outside of tonight. Last pay-per-view, UFC 319, you were in the crowd supporting your friend Jeff Neal, and people saw the video that Gilbert Burns posted where your reaction sparked, you know. So what was that? You know, what was behind that? And you know, what'd you say to Jeff after that fight?
No, I just told Jeff that I love him, and you know, me and Jeff, we've been teammates, and we've been in the training room for 10 plus years. You know, I'm always gonna have a soft spot in my heart for Jeff. You know, I've put a lot of rounds with that dude. You know, and I know his dad. His dad served this country, and his dad's an exceptional human being. He always reaches out to me, and I hope Jeff always does good in life, man. You know, I never want to see anybody that I know that I've trained with, no matter what happens, I never want to see them get hurt, you know, and if Jeff gets this message, man, I hope he's all good, and I'm always going to have love for that dude, man, and I always hope he makes the most money, and he's always the happiest in life. He's a real good friend.
Obviously, I mean, we heard you obviously say, you know, that his career was ruined there. Did it,
Yeah.
I'm sure you see, obviously, first person, the things he's capable of doing. So did that hurt a bit more?
It did hurt a lot more. Not just a bit more, but it hurt a lot more because we were in a very bad environment. But, you know, I let bygones be bygones, and I handled the business that I needed to handle. So it don't really matter to me, man, you know?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
I feel like we've heard great one-liners from you telling us what your dad has said over the years and different other stuff. So I have to ask, what lesson was he teaching when you brought up blowing up the ram's ass to straighten the horns? What were you learning about at that moment?
Well, at that moment, I mean, I've gotten several beatings from my father when I was a kid, right? From not holding the flashlight correctly whenever we were working on the car and all of that different stuff. But he told me, because I remember one day I was like 20 or 21, and I was like, Pop, I'm really tired right now. You know, I don't want to help you. We were getting ready to go from Ohio to Texas in a box truck. Well, I was driving the box truck. He was sitting his fancy behind in a nice Mercedes-Benz driving all the way down to Texas. And I was like, Pop, I'm really tired. I don't want to drive the box truck. He's like, at your age, you should be able to blow in a ram's ass and straighten out its horns, not ask any other questions. So big shout out to my pops, man. That dude's a piece of work. He's a daisy.
I love it. And just last one, there was a lot of respect shown between you and Austin afterwards.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you said to him? It looked like you were having a nice words with him after.
Yeah, I told him I love him, and I told him, dude, you know, you gave me nightmares. Like, the dude legit gave me nightmares. You know what I mean? I think all of my opponents give me nightmares. But, man, I don't know, man. I was just, like, pretty fucking scared of this dude, this whole camp. Because I had trained with his teammate Magomed Umalatov. And I remember there were a few occasions where Magomed was saying, he's like, you know, Austin's such a powerful puncher. He does everything with power and this and this. And I remember in that first round, I was like, all right, motherfucker, I want to feel this power. And I was like, you know, let's go. But shit, thank God that power didn't hurt me, you know.
How would you rate that head kick? They replayed it in slow mo,
I haven't
and
seen
they
it.
replayed it live.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't
it was
even seen it.
nasty.
I haven't seen my finish. I haven't seen none of that. But it was funny. Not that I would never listen to my coaches, to Coach Mike Valley, to Meech, to Justin. But one of the things that I like to do is whenever I'm grappling people, I like to put my hand in their nose and their mouth, and I start to pinch a little bit, right? I started to feel blood, and I wanted to put the blood back in his mouth and put it in his nose a little bit. I don't know if it's illegal, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, so it's all good, right? I produced a violent finish.
Yes, you did. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Love you, Mom. See you soon. You guys think that might be a bonus or what? Maybe, maybe not. I hope the whole card goes to decision.